What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Living. Today we have a new wood stove video. So this is the Hearthstone Lincoln. This is why I'm so excited about it. There is only 2 other wood stoves like this where you're gonna have like a tiny home wood stove or a small room where people actually make wood stoves this small that are EPA certified. There's the Vermont Castings Aspen, and then there's the Yodel Little Giant, which we'll show you pictures of. But now we have a new guy to compete with that. I'm just curious, can a stove this tiny actually heat that well? There's only one way to find out. We're gonna light this sucker and get it going and see how hot she gets. Don't forget, if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, you can come to our showroom, check out all of our awesome products for yourself. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, thumbs up, all that stuff. Also, last order of business. If you like what you learn from this channel, make sure you give us the first shot at the business, because it happens all the time where we educate consumers, tell them what they need to buy, and they go buy it somewhere else. So give us a shot at it. You know, worst case you can do is not buy it from us, but at least give us a try. Okay, so this is called the Lincoln. Now, being that it's small, there's actually not that many features to talk about. So it is a catalytic stove. So this is gonna be our catalytic combustor right there. So when it's open, that means that we're in bypass mode. Now the most unique thing about it, and why I'm so excited about this thing, and why I think it's gonna be the best on the market for a stove this small, is it's made of soapstone. So if you're not familiar with soapstone, we did a test, soapstone versus cast iron versus steel, and the soapstone retained heat the longest. So the issue is a stove this small, you don't have a big firebox. So when you don't have a big firebox, you're not gonna have very long burn times. Usually the larger the stove, longer but the burn times we can get, because the more wood we can fit in the stove. This should increase our burn times, or at least the amount of heat coming off the stove, for much longer, and should help with efficiency. So let's fire this up and then I'll talk about some other features. All right, so we don't have kindling here, so I'm cheating it a little bit. I'm actually using our barbecue wood chips. So we're gonna have a nice cherry, very good smelling wood burning stove here in a minute. We're using our cooking wood chips to get this going. You know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. We're trying to simulate roughing it out in the wild. You know, when you have your bag of wood chips out in the wild, you probably don't have a bag of wood chips out in the wild, but a little side point while this is getting going. This plate serves 2 purposes. One, we can cook on this. So you have a tiny wood stove that could also double as an oven, or a stovetop, I should say. How cool is that? Because if we're cooking on a wood stove this small, we probably need to have a 2-for-1 for spacing. So we can cook on this. Also, you see these 2 little screws, this comes out, and that's how we can service our catalytic combustor, which is right here. Okay, so this is a 16-inch log. Let's see if she'll fit a 16-incher. Oh, it's gonna be tight. She fits. Our air control is also down here, so it's open and shut. And then also, here's our thermometer, so we know when to engage our catalytic combustor. We'll come back and check on this in a little bit. Another thing, actually, I'm gonna point out, here's something I like. I like that the latch is designed on the outside of the firebox. Oh, it's a little greasy. The problem is when this latch is on the inside of the firebox, it's just gonna get chewed up, and that latch is gonna go bad really quickly because it's literally on fire. So that's gonna, if you have a bad latch, it's not gonna be a very airtight stove. So the fact that this latch is on the outside of the stove, it's a simple design, but a really important one. Okay, so we've let this run for about 20 minutes or so. You can see we got 3 logs in there. I am curious, one of the things with a small stove like this is how many logs can we actually fit, you know? And this thing is just radiating heat. Where's our heat gun at, Chris? Let's see that thing. Yeah, so we're at over 500. Our hearthstone sides are at almost 400, or soapstone sides. So we're definitely hot enough. I think what we should do, open this baby up a little bit. Woo, she's hot. Let's stoke her a little bit. Oh yeah, those logs just, that's what we call a hot coal bed. See that? That's why you need 18 inches of hearth protection out in front of your stove. So many clients are like, well, can you cheat that a little bit? No, you'll catch your house on fire. So don't do that. Do exactly what it says. Okay, so we had 3 logs in there. Whew. I think it's time. Loaded up city. 1. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna get more than 2 more in there, huh?
Doesn't look like it.
These are pretty good sized logs though. 16-inch logs are fitting no problem. So that's pretty easy peasy right there. So we had 3 originally. 3 are in our ember bed, and then 2 more. And then we should be hot enough to engage our catalytic combustor. Yeah. So let's activate our combustor. See how this burn looks. I'm still gonna leave the air open. Look at that reburn going now through that combustor. All right, this thing's been on for an hour. It's like literally white hot. I mean, that's white hot ash in there. The sides of this soapstone are over 600 degrees. Like this thing, I'm not joking, for how small it is a crazy powerhouse. Like it's just getting hotter and hotter. Let's get some of that. Oh, that's good.
That's a pretty big heat.
Out of all the tiny stoves, I would say this one is my favorite because it's efficient, it's made of solid soapstone, and it's adorable. So, and we got basically 5 16-inch logs in there, no problem. I mean, not all at once. We did 3 and then 2. But this is dense oak logs. So this thing is a tiny little powerhouse is what it is. And it's pretty impressive for how tiny the footprint is. If you're in the market for a tiny stove that can big time heat, you need yourself a Hearthstone Lincoln. We'll see you guys next time.